Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Madden 2002. It feels weird saying that after saying Madden 2001 for so very long. But yes, we are here in a brand new series. This is episode 2, part 2 of said series with the Dallas Cowboys. And we are starting off our series, rather, at home here in week 1, man. There's nothing else that's happened. It is week 1, game 1, baby. And we are starting off with a pretty stacked, loaded opponent. This is the big, bad Tampa Bay Buccaneers from the early 2000s that would win a Super Bowl over the Oakland Raiders. If you all remember way back when, I think it was maybe this season, the 01-02 season. Am I remembering correctly? I think it was that season in which they won the Super Bowl, I think. My memory with Super Bowls and years is not very good. I could tell you who's won them. I couldn't tell you when. But that is how things are working out. So this is Will Newton's first game as the head man of the Cowboys here at Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. So let's get off and start it. First and 10 for the Buccaneers. They have worked their way to about their own 38 or 39. It's a handoff to Warwick Dunn. He's got some space on the outside edge and gets towards the sideline, but not before he coughs up the football, and it is recovered by your Dallas Cowboys. And fortunately, there's also a hold, so that penalty is not going to affect the possession. We are going to remain with possession of the ball, and we are going to have this one going the other way as Warwick Dunn fumbles. A rare out-of-character fumble for Warwick Dunn. So 2nd and 9 now. Tony Banks, the Tony Banks, finds Harris across the middle for a first down. Fast forward to a 3rd and 6. Banks is going to drop back, scan over his options. Wants one out to the right side of the field. Tries to hit Harris again, it looks like. And Harris had a hand on it, but couldn't quite haul it in. So, as we're going to bring up 4th down, we're going to bring up Brian, our kicker, our free agent kicker. And he's going to boot this one. It's a long one, but he nails it right on through. And there you see, I guess it's a record for him. So, Doug Bryan nails a 50-yarder in his first ever kick as a Cowboy. So, 3rd and 4 now for the Buccaneers here. They're in our territory. Brad Johnson fires this one over to the corner, and he finds an open target, and it is hauled in by the tight end, and that is going to continue the Buccaneers' drive now as they try to answer back to our field goal, but the first quarter is going to come to a close, so we're going to get a brief breather before we get back into the action. So, facing a 3rd and very long now, the Buccaneers, Brad Johnson drops back here and has a clean pocket and unloads, and it gets bobbled around and is intercepted by the Cowboys secondary. And you love to see some stuff like that. Buckley, the one who comes down with it. Our DB's not really a big area of talent, but they've got an interception, and we also have a fumble recovery. So not much would happen off of that turnover, however, and now the Ravens. See, I was thinking Tony Banks. I got Ravens in my head. The Buccaneers are sticking with the ground game despite the fumble here and work done, picking up a big one, and now in the next play, Mike Allstott shaking off one man, getting to the edge, and he's picking up that speed. He may be a fullback, but he has got all the agility and elusiveness of a running back, man. Look at that. He's the best of both worlds, man. What a goat Mike Allstott was as he picks up a first down and quite a bit more. And now the Buccaneers are cooking inside the 20 now with just under 2 minutes left to go in the first half. So our one field goal, still the only points to speak of on the board. Brad Johnson not going to spike it down. He's just going to go right for the end zone again, and he finds an open target, and it is a touchdown. And it is that same tight end who caught it earlier in the game. And so now the Buccaneers finally get on the scoreboard for the first time this season. So with time still left to go in the first half, Tony Banks and the boys are going to try and put something together, work something out, and see if we can get some more points as that completion to Ismail is complete. And now we are cooking here in Tampa Bay territory. With a minute left to go, Tony Banks is going to spike it. He's not. He's just going to run another play, drops back, and then corks one to Joey Galloway, who hauls this one in. Has to kind of come back for it, though. Yeah, kind of an awkward route he had to run. He had to, like, run. He ran like to the sticks and had to come back for that catch. Kind of an awkward pass by Banks, but it is complete, and so now that's going to be a 2nd and short situation. We're going to call timeout to conserve some time here, maybe see if we can get into the end zone and be smart with the 57 seconds we have to get into the end zone. So Tony Banks drops back now. Pressure is on, but he gets rid of it quick to Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt Smith with a hop skip gets to the 5-yard line, but he coughs up the football, and the Buccaneers are the ones who come up with it. So a humongous blunder for this Cowboys offense as we get within range of the goal line, and Emmitt Smith coughs up the ball, and that is going to end the first half as the Buccaneers wouldn't have enough time to really do much with it, and 7-3 is your score. But coming out of the second half here, kind of in the middle of the third quarter, The Buccaneers are once again mounting a drive on offense as Brad Johnson finds Mike Allstott out of the flat, and he gets close to the stick. So, so 2nd and 9 here. Brad Johnson again uncorking one, and he finds an open man. He's got to come back to it. It might have been Keyshawn Johnson, I believe, who had to. It wasn't, but he had to come back to it and just get that ball here. But he manages to do so. So on a 3rd and 6 now, third quarter coming to a close. Brad Johnson a very clean pocket, and he throws another interception. So the 3rd turnover for the Buccaneers, but hold on, there is a holding penalty, so we need to halt everything. We need to halt everything. So I believe that the interception here is probably still going to hold here, but regardless, the 3rd quarter comes to a close. 7-3 is still your score. A low-scoring affair here, but it is still anybody's game. So on a 4th down, we're going to keep the offense on the field, close to midfield, and Tony Banks finds Harris, and he hauls that one in for a 1st down, and now we are moving the ball into Buccaneer territory. We got to get something rolling on offense. We've been struggling all game. We need a bit of a change of pace here against the Buccaneers defense. So 1st and 10 with a little over 3 minutes left to go. It's a pitch play to Emmitt Smith, who gets to the edge, and he's got some speed here. For being an 11-year pro, he's still got a little bit of speed into him, a little bit of spice inside of him. So hasn't done too much productive for us today. He does have the fumble, but plays like that are helpful. So hopefully he can make more plays like that without the blunders of fumbling the football. But it is just great to have a legend like Emmitt Smith on the team that we can kind of rally behind. So on a 2nd and 4, they're going to give it to Emmitt Smith again, and he shimmies his way through an open hole and gets the 1st down and is brought down at about the 5-yard line. So we're going to try and punch this one in out of the 2-minute warning. Plenty of time here. We're basically in the driver's seat with this game right now, as we have potential to burn quite a bit of time. That the Buccaneers are going to have to be smart with the clock right now, and I mean us too, since we could easily get this one into the end zone, but looks like we're going to try and move fast just to try and take a late lead, regardless of how much time is left. On 2nd and goal, that one cannot be hauled in. It hits our tight end right in the hands, and he just cannot seem to bring that one in. We don't have a lot of talent at the position. So on 3rd and goal, we are again going to go to the end zone, and that is Joey Galloway who comes down with the touchdown. The first Cowboys touchdown of the season goes to Joey Galloway. Makes plenty of sense. Probably could have, if you were a bet man, you probably would have made a little bit of money off of that one, or probably not. The odds on that probably would have been all that good, because I think everyone would have probably bet on Joey Galloway catching the first touchdown of the season for the Cowboys. But regardless, it is a humongous touchdown for us. That is going to give us the lead over the Buccaneers late here at home. There's still plenty of time in Madden terms, as we still have over about a minute and a half left to go for the Buccaneers, and now they've worked their way upfield a little bit, and that one is completed to Keyshawn Johnson. He's got a half step now, as he can't escape a tackle, the touchdown-saving tackle potentially, because he had the speed to get there, but he didn't have the strength to kind of stay on his feet. But regardless, the Buccaneers kind of flip the field and get into Dallas territory. So with a little over a minute, the time is expiring as the Buccaneers are just trying to run this one fast. Brad Johnson drops back and again finds Keyshawn Johnson on the side of the field. Was that Keyshawn Johnson, or was that 81 guy? Was it him? Yeah, it was, dude. They're both wearing the white sleeves. That's why I keep getting thrown off. But Green is his name, so I'll be able to call him out by name now moving forward. So 1st and 10, they're going to give it to Mike Allstott, who shimmies up the middle, and he's got some speed, man. I keep forgetting how fast Mike Allstott is. He's making us pay for it. But the Buccaneers are mounting a drive that they haven't mounted all game long, man. They've been kind of struggling on offense, and here they are just moving the ball with relative ease. And now they give it to Mike Allstott again, but unfortunately Woodson, our great safety, grabs a little bit too much of the face mask on the tackle, and that is going to be an extra 5 yards for the Buccaneers as if they needed it. So on a 2nd and goal, which is 49 seconds left to go, and the Buccaneers in the driver's seat, they're going to go on the ground with Warwick Dunn, and he's going to get brought down forward into the end zone, and it is another Buccaneer touchdown. So the Buccaneers reclaiming the lead now. Just under a minute left to go after we had fought so hard to take it. We now have to basically play a perfect drive here with just over 30 seconds left to go. And Tony Banks tries everything. On 3rd and 4, he tries to find Joey Galloway, and that one hits him in the numbers, but he cannot come down with it, unfortunately. So on 4th and 4, we got to keep the offense on the field if we want a chance to win the ball game. And Tony Banks is going to drop back. He's got a good amount of time here, and he tries to hit Ismail across the middle. Ismail gets a hand on it, but he cannot haul it in. And so that is going to end our drive and essentially, effectively, end our game as the Buccaneers are going to go into victory formation, but they have been able to work the ball inside the 10-yard line. So on 3rd and 6, with 20 seconds left, they could just knee it out, but they're going to give it to Warwick Dunn, who finds some space and gets into the end zone. So not only are we going to lose the game, but the Buccaneers are going to add another garbage time score to make this one a lot less respectable than it might have looked on the stat sheet originally. So 21-10 is going to be your score from Texas Stadium here in Irving, Texas, as we suffer our first loss as head coach, GM, whatever. I guess we just have to be coach since Jerry's all those things, but no, we're going to be the GM as well. So here's the stat breakdown. The Buccaneers, of course, outplayed us. They outran us. That was really the big deciding factor, as well as the third down conversion rate. We only converted a single third down all game, and that was a huge problem in the Bengals series too, man, just not being able to be effective on third down. We only got into the red zone once, man, so yeah, dude, not great. Just not good, really, at all. Tony Banks doesn't have a terrible game. The completion percentage is a little bit lower, but, doesn't make a ton of mistakes, so not that bad. Needed more from Emmitt Smith, but Joey Galloway has a great game, which is nice when you pay that much money. Mays, our free agent wide receiver, is the second leading receiver on the team, which is nice to see as well. Dexter Coakley leading the team in tackles, also with a TFL, which is nice to see since he gets paid a lot as well. So heading back to the season screen, we lose our next game against the Lions in Pontiac, and then we pick up our first win of the season against the Chargers at home, and that takes us into our Week 4 matchup on the road to Philly to play the Philadelphia Eagles. So they are 1-2. We are also 1-2. Maybe we can pick up a nice little win here, our second win on the season. That's what I'm looking for. We got to at least get a handful of wins, like 5 or 6 wins. I don't know if that's a guarantee, but hopefully we see you guys in the next one here when we take on the Philadelphia Eagles.